Good morning, y'all. Machiavelli Mills TV. Y'all hit that like button and hit the subscribe button. Gather around. I got a story to tell, right? So look, my dad got a really close friend of his that he grew up with since he was a child, right? They literally lived a few blocks away from each other growing up on the south side of Chicago. They like this, right? They work together, everything. So my dad's friend, he had recently got out of a toxic relationship, a relationship that was just not good. The girl was mentally, emotionally draining in so many ways. My dad's friend was going through it with this woman, right? So eventually they split up and they broke up for good, right? So good news, good sign for my dad's friend. So after the breakup, my dad's friend discovers Facebook. This is probably around like 2009. So he gets on Facebook and he creates a profile. I think his daughter or his grandkids or something help him create the profile, right? He's an older, not his daughter did, right? So this is an older gentleman, around my dad's age and stuff. So he's not social media savvy at all. He just hears about Facebook and he gets on there. He gets on Facebook, makes him a profile, and people just start adding people. A lot of men do this too. You just start adding people, adding people. He adds a woman, a beautiful young woman, right? So he adds the woman, and the woman starts messaging him. He starts messaging this woman back. They start chatting it up all day, for most of the day and all of that. They get on the phone talking to each other. My dad's friend is enamored with this woman. He like, yo, I gotta meet this woman. I gotta meet her. I gotta meet her. He started telling my dad about the woman, right? So he showed my dad, he telling my dad, yo, she got a body like Beyonce, dog. She fine. She fine as hell, dog. She fine. According to my dad's friend, this woman is finer than a ticket on a dashboard. You feel me? She finer than frog hair, finer than that comb that girls run through their hair. So my dad's friend shows my dad the picture of the woman. So my dad like, man, you sure that's her? You sure that's her? He like, oh yeah, dog, it's her, dog, it's her. I know it's her, it's her, dog, man. She fine, ain't she? She fine, ain't she? She fine, ain't she? My dad like, yeah. But in my dad's mind, my dad is not on social media to this day. He don't know nothing about it. He just hear about it. My dad like, I just have a hard time believing a woman that fine would be on social media just looking for dudes like that. It just don't sound right to me. He's a woman that fine. She ain't gonna be out here, just looking for no dude like that. And then he said the pictures looked really, really professional. Right? Now, mind you, I didn't know anything about this situation until after everything played out. So I don't know anything to tell him, yo, you might want to make sure that's real. I didn't know anything to tell him, hey, you might want to get on Skype with this woman. You might want to get on some video call to see if this woman is a real person or the woman that you think she is. I don't know nothing about the whole situation. And again, my dad's friend, he don't know nothing about video calling like that. He didn't even think to do that. So, okay. So he talking to the woman. They continue talking and vibing. She want to see him the same way he want to see her. So she buys him a train ticket to come to see her, right? Now she bought a train ticket both ways. Red flag number one. A woman buying your ticket there and back on the first link up, she that eager to see you, you gotta know something off. You know what I mean? Okay, if she want to pay one way, all right, but both of you ain't gotta pay nothing for her to come see you, for you to come see her. Like, that's fishy. You know what I mean? On the first link up, she would think you would want to put in some effort to try to see her too in some type of way, or try to, it just screams suspicious. You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious, brother? But anyway, my dad's friend, he don't think nothing about it. He get on the train, he go pack up his bags, he excited the day before, he can't wait. He telling my dad, I'm finna go see a dog, it's finna be popping, it's finna be on and popping. He excited, I'm talking about smiling ear to ear, grinning like skinning and grinning, right? So he gets on the train and goes out to, I forget where it was, but it was a nice little minute from Chicago. I damn sure know that, right? So he gets on the train, and when he gets off of the train, he's excited. He looking for the woman, and he don't see the woman that is in this picture. He looking for a face. He can't he can't see her. He said, lo and behold, he hear a voice calling his name. And as he looks to look for this voice, the voice is familiar. He sees a woman. And when I say this, I'm not body shaming, because I'd be the last person to talk about somebody's weight. I didn't gain weight since I got out of college. For real, for real. You know what I'm saying? Sure. So I'm the last person to talk about somebody's weight, but I gotta say it to tell a story. He say when he turn around and hear the voice that he recognizes and look for the voice that he recognizes, he see a woman waddling when she come walking up to him, right? This woman almost about 500 pounds, right? And he just like, yo, his mouth his mouth about hit the floor, because he didn't get hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, all throughout social media, right? Now, you know, this woman didn't get his train ticket there and back. So he feel like he's stuck at this point. I don't know why he just didn't turn around and make up something and go back home. But he feel like he's stuck now, right? So he with her all weekend. So he tell my dad about the whole situation. And when he said he saw the girl, he said, dog, my dad said, dog, did you hit it? My dad friends say, dog, I had to, dog. He said he had to hit it. He ain't had no choice. Boy, that woman wasn't finna give him no choice. Boy, she probably had him jumping off the dresser, jumping off the top rope up in her. For real, she didn't went on social media and stole her some penis. You feel me? She didn't bought her some, rather. Bought her some and did it with deception. Deceptively bought her some penis on the internet. Man, I bet you my daddy friend had to wear that woman out about 3-4 times a day. He was probably wore out by the time he left. He said, yo, she had that hoodwinking her. So when my dad told me the story, he like, man, I told him I just knew that was just too good to be true. That didn't even sound right. I say, man, if he would have told me, I would have told him to get on video call. Now, this is before the show Catfish came out. I'm in high school at the time. This is probably like 2009. I forgot when Catfish came out, but I know Catfish wasn't out when this happened to him. You know what I mean? The show was not even a thing or around at the time to really know to do this type of stuff. And he was just so giddy because he had just got out of a bad relationship. You know, brothers trying to bounce back when they get out of a long-term relationship that's bad for them. They trying to find him a new woman. He thought he found the woman of his dreams on that motherfucker. So look, I say, damn, he probably was in there. Boy, she probably putting him to work. You hear me? She like, you ain't laying up in here in this house for free. You gonna have to freak. You're going to have to do something before do something. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to do it all this weekend. This is not a kid. This is not a just having fun weekend. You are going to work. You are being put to work. And that's a shame. That is a shame. I'd have had to go. I'm sorry. I'd have made up something. My daughter got sick on the way here. My grandson is sick. I got to turn back around. He in the hospital, and I would have had to just knock on wood and pray that nothing like that actually happens in real life, because you know it's power in the tongue. But I would have had to make up something. I can't. Right? Yo, he said when he came home, he couldn't wait to get up out of there. He came home, never called her again. She was smiling. She ain't care. She stole her some penis. She didn't care nothing about you call her again. It's all right. She got what she wanted out of the situation. I said, oh my God. I know a lot of men was getting fooled and finessed like that, you know, on social media, on Facebook when it first popped off. You know what I mean? But see, he's an older gentleman, so he didn't know. Like, people be using fake pictures and stuff. You remember back on Tag back in the day, people was using pictures of models and all of that to say that was them and all that type of stuff. You talking on Tag to somebody, some girl you think is a fine model. It's probably some, could have been a dude in the basement somewhere. Lord, and that's terrible. But yeah. But anyway, he couldn't wait to get up out of there. He got up out of there. She was skinning and grinning. She was happy as hell. He on the way home mad than a motherfucker. Yo, it was like the worst time ever for him. But listen, hey, yo, my dad sitting there dying laughing like, yo, that woman and got her some action. And that ain't the first time she done done that before. She done that plenty times. She sought out a victim, she perpetrator. She sought out a victim and say, oh man, I can get him. I can get him. And she figured all she got to do is get you on their phone is over with. Because my dad friend was believing he had found the woman of his dreams. And he had found the beautiful woman ever. He said he stepped off that train. She was waddling, walking to him. And he was like, oh my God, this is not this woman. He looking around for the girl in the picture. He looking for this girl in the picture. He just know it's her. Man, she got a bite like Beyonce. My dad telling him, hey man, you sure that's that woman? Man, that's her dog. It's her dog. No, it's not, dog. No, it's not. You got hoodwinked. You got catfished before the show even came out. Now, good news for this gentleman, my dad's friend, is he's married now, happily married, reconnected with his high school sweetheart, and they live in a beautiful life. And he's a really great person, outstanding individual, just really good person all the way through and through. So I'm happy for him. You know, that he's living a good life. He with his wife, they living all good. But during that time when my dad told me, that was funny as hell. Like, I was choking in the car. I said, yo, I know she was making, that woman was making him go to work. And my dad's friend, he's a tall, thin guy. Boy, she was making him show out probably. You hear me? She probably had the Cialis and stuff ready for him. Pop these, pop 2 of these, pop 3 of these, another one. They had them popping them like it was M&M's, boy. She was not playing. I was like, oh, that is terrible. That is horrible. And I know people who have experienced horror stories with these type of like this online dating, people using old pictures or fake pictures or pictures, you know what I mean? And they look completely different now and getting hoodwinked. And it happens a lot to people, but yeah, man, I'm in there like, yo, this is crazy. And again, he's a good person. He's a good person, never did nothing bad, you know, always was good people. But I think he was vulnerable coming out of that toxic relationship. And all of that, coming out of that toxic relationship, he looking for another woman to help him heal. And shoot, she say, you gonna help her heal. She gonna use you to heal in any way she can. And that is terrible. He didn't went on that long train ride. Train ride was over like 10 hours. I forgot where he went. I want to say it was like, I don't know, was it DC somewhere? I don't know. It was somewhere. I got to ask my dad again. But I was going to say this story for Patreon, but I say, man, I'm going to tell it because it was just crazy. But it was an over 10 hour. Like, can you imagine the ride back home after that didn't happen to you? After she done made you drop them draws? After she done made you do that, drop them. Remember when Monique was doing that, the dude on Soul Plane, drop them. Drop them draws, Denzel. That's what she told my dad friend. And yo, that is crazy. My dad friend on the way home probably was shaking his head. He might have cried on the he gonna cry in the car. He cried on the car of that train, probably going home, like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Boy, she probably would make him flip her, turn her, every which way. She probably would holding on to him for real.